Meanwhile, Justin Fields struggled to get into much of a rhythm, completing just over 50% of his passes for 194 yards and 1 touchdown. Fields downplayed his injury, saying after the game that he was, quote, healthy enough to be out there. So, Shannon, who will be the better NFL QB, Jones or Fields?
Skip, I really like the way Mac Jones throws the football. Everything is on time. Everything is in rhythm. Everything gives the guy an opportunity to not only run with it, but protect himself from the big shot. He doesn't have the mobility. And that's, maybe that's some of the things, because we look at the quarterbacks now, with the exception of Brady and Breeze, all the other top quarterbacks, Skip, can move. All of them.
He'll run if you dare.
Right.
But it's not.
I mean, you really got to do right. You really got to do. It's got to be like the highways, the first part of the lockdown where everything is wide open and he'll take off. Fields' year has been up and down, and I don't know if he answered any of the questions. He silenced a lot of his critics with the Clemson game, and they wanted to see if he can follow it up. And even if he didn't follow it up with another 6-touchdown, almost 400-yard performance, I think they wanted to see him play a little better than what he played last night, Skip. Now, I don't know. Obviously, he says he was out there, so he was, I guess he says he was healthy enough to be out there.
Yep.
But he didn't look as comfortable as he did against Clemson. And like you said, the performance that he's had up this entire year, he's been up and down. No matter what you think about Mac Jones, he's been here.
Oh, there's been how about he's been here?
But I'm saying, Skip, he's been. There ain't been no peaks and valleys. One good game, bad game. Good. Everything has been excellent.
Greatest QBR in the history of college football.
Highest completion percentage in 1 year of football. So with that, Skip, 77%. It's Skip, but it's not like he's just throwing bubble screens. Like, yeah, he throws a lot of those to get the ball into Devontae's and Waddle before he got hurt, and Najee. But he pushes the ball down the field a lot more than I remember Colt McCoy throwing the ball down the field.
I agree with that.
So with that being said, I would take Mac Jones, but his lack of mobility is somewhat concerning. But the inconsistency that I've seen from Justin Fields is a little bit more concerning than his lack of mobility.
All right. I resisted saying this game after game after game. I said, Mac Jones is nothing but a product of all that talent on offense, that pipeline of an NFL offensive line that he gets to play behind. And yet, I sat back at the end of the game last night, and I looked at these numbers, and I said, that's just extraordinary. And then I looked at Justin Fields' numbers, and I told you, I watched him carefully against Indiana. He had a long, hard game. I watched him against Northwestern. He struggled.
Yeah.
Remember, that's when Trey Sermon went off for 331.
Yeah.
Saved him. And then Clemson just took my breath away. I didn't see that coming. 6 touchdown passes. What was he? 385 yards.
Yep.
And then last night, hit and miss. Hit and miss. Barely over 50% completions. 194 yards.
Right.
But he made a couple throws where I said, oh, that's big time. And yet, in the end, I got to concede what you just conceded. I guess Mac Jones is the real deal.
Yeah.
And to me, I sat back and I said, is he Andy Dalton? Could he be Andy Dalton? Yeah. Listen, Andy Dalton, when he went to Cincinnati, was pretty good.
Yeah.
They averaged winning 10 games a year for his first 5 years, and he made 3 Pro Bowls.
Yeah.
Could he be Andy Dalton? Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Andy's not the most athletic, mobile guy. Does he have a huge arm? He's got an above-average arm. So does this kid, right? And I like this kid's swagger. He's got some Joe Burrow in him. He's just not as athletic and mobile as Joe Burrow is, right?
Yeah.
So I like the swagger from both kids, but again, would I lean, do I think Joe Burrow is going to be long-term better than Mac Jones? I still do.
Right.
He got the, what kicked out of him this year in Cincinnati.
And he had coming out that gruesome knee injury.
Just gruesome, But the point is, in the end, every time I want to love Justin Fields, he won't let me love him because then he'll misfire. He'll be off target, and you'll say, what are you doing? What are you thinking? Did you see one bad It's like we said about Joe Burrow. Did you see a bad throw all year? I couldn't remember a bad throw. Did Mac Jones make one bad throw all year?
Skip,
did you say, oh, that was horrible?
Skip, we watched the national championship game last year, and we talked about how Joe Burrow looked